It's time to feel the rage. Welcome to Film Rage, where we talk movies in cinema, streaming, and classic films as well. Directors and actors beware, as you cannot hide from the rage. My name is Bryce, and I'm part of the Film Rage crew, which also includes Jim. Hey there, Jim.
Hey, Bryce.
And joining us as well is Murray, who I hear was hanging out with Machete last weekend. Is this true, Murman?
That is true.
Wow. So with the introductions out of the way, let's rage on.
Did Machete take you to space to see Uranus?
No.
Oh.
That doesn't even make sense. You're just talking jibber jabber.
Well, he was supposed to go to space.
Yeah, I know he will.
And kill Mel Gibson.
Didn't he go to space?
No, he hasn't gone to space yet.
Well, where's Machete 3?
That's what I'm asking Murray.
Did you ask Machete when he's going to space?
You mean the 2 seconds that I saw him? No.
That's right.
No.
No.
Oh.
So my comment did make sense. And they
Yeah, it
apparently
did.
didn't go to Uranus.
Yeah, whatever.
Well, thanks to all been supporting us. If you love our independent podcast, please like, subscribe, share, and give us 5-star rating on your listening platform. Or support us and join the Film Rage community by joining our membership at buymeacoffee.com/Film Rage YYC. If you cannot commit to a membership, you can still buy us a movie rental and dare us to see a terrible film. And we will watch it if it played anywhere in the world. Now, let's get to raging. But first, here's a word from our sponsor.
Hey, Bryce, what are you doing tonight?
I'm going to my favorite cinema, Canyon Meadows Cinema, to see the best second-run movies at the best price.
What? How inexpensive are they?
Regular price is $5, $5.
Regular price is $5. Makes me hope they also serve pizza.
They do, plus a lot of other great food choices. Plus, I'm planning my office Christmas party there. They can host a plethora of options for any get-together. Gaming, movie, drag show.
Drag show? Now I know where I'm planning my next party.
Hey, maybe you think there's a Liam Neeson or a superhero movie planned?
Ugh, I hope not. But maybe there'll be a great independent documentary.
Sure. Call CMC at 403-670-5444 to book a special event or go online at canyonmeadowscinema.ca.
And our buddy Paul actually informed us that they're having a special screening of the Star Wars trilogy for
What?
May the 4th.
May the 4th be with you.
Which would be tomorrow. So if you live in the Calgary area, check it out.
May the 4th be with you. 4th with you. So, today is not May the 4th.
No.
Today is May the 3rd, which has no meaning whatsoever.
May Day? May
Sure.
flag? Maypole?
I'm usually planting a maypole.
I have no idea what we're talking about again.
We're talking about going to the cinemas, which
Oh.
plants a maypole. We saw a shit ton of movies, and then we saw a shit ton more movies
You guys
at
saw
Calgary
lots.
Underground Film Fest. So, what do we see first, my little friend?
We saw Polite Society.
Ooh.
Polite Society, directed and written by Nida Manzoor, is a whole lot of fun. It stars Priya Kansera as Ria Khan, who believes her older sister is making the biggest mistake of her life with her impending marriage. Ria must stop the wedding to save her sister. This is the plot. That is a simple plot. But in actuality, that does not even begin to describe this movie. This film is completely bonkers and goes in directions I never saw coming. The action is ridiculous, but tremendously fun. The dialogue is sharp and amusing. The actors are having fun with the material, which adds to the overall enjoyment. The film is like a Jane Austen story if it was co-written by Quentin Tarantino. And even as the craziness is being bombarded into your eyeballs, the story stays grounded in its core theme of family and sisterly love. This is an exhausting bit of action comedy that had me smiling throughout. Polite Society has me excited to see what is next for Nida Manzoor. And it was also Mondo. I love this
What?
one. Loved it.
What? Who would have thought so? Sisterly love?
I know.
Huh, who knew? Polite Society is a family-focused love between two sisters.
What?
And is the ultimate Pakistani ladies who kick ass and punch dicks film, where the oldest sister is falling in love, but is also a failing artist. And the younger sister is a wannabe Kung Fury karate stunt woman.
She's so good.
The film contrasts gender norms in Pakistani culture and pokes fun at arranged marriages and proves that ladies can take control of their own lives. The film is chock full of humor, action, camaraderie, secret handshakes, diversity, and friendships that support each other against creepy mother-son relationships where the arranged marriage is to stuff a clone of his mom inside his new wife's perfect uterus. Yeah, that's right. Mom's clone in wife's uterus.
Nice.
It's a film that had me screaming at the ladies to kick higher into those dicks and loving the support the family gives their daughters. It had a mystery spy type feel throughout this entire adventure. And the youngest daughter is in high school. So when the parents think she has an overactive imagination, it just kind of make you question what's really going on at times in this film.
Mm-hmm.
And the family dynamics in this are amazing.
Yep.
I liked it so much, and I kind of wished I saw this with my boys.
Yeah.
And again, I'm sad we don't have a secret handshake like the mates in this film had. Until we do, I'm afraid we truly will never be as close as these young ladies were, and it saddens me. But this film made me happy because I liked it so much.
So good.
This gets a high kick in the dick, Mondo. I love this film.
How awesome
I was
was it?
laughing all the way through
I
it.
know. And you're right. Like the whole time I'm watching it, I was like, "Ah, man, me and especially in this." I happened to be there by myself, which is sad.
As was I.
But I was like, man, if Jim was here with me, I mean, we'd be screaming at the screen.
Because there was nobody else in the cinema.
Else. Like, that's the one time, by the way, where it's acceptable that, if you're the only one in the cinema, have at it.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Unless it's kind of leaning towards the 4 people that are in the cinema are all of the same mindset, then it kind of works.
there you go.
You kind of have to have like an agreement.
But yeah, this is as much fun as you can have at the cinema. Just the whole story. It's like, it is completely, but like, how did she even come up with half of this stuff? It's just like, what? I kept on going, what?
And there's so many inside jokes that is part, like we've seen it multiple times in Pakistani and East Indian films where it's kind of like, this is the way the culture is. So for this, flip it totally onto its head.
Yeah.
We see a movie like RRR from last year where it's 2 dudes, and then in contrast, seeing these 2 ladies just kick ass, punch dicks.
So much fun.
The evil mother.
Yes.
I'm just gonna look up her name. She was brilliant. Every single thing that she's in is like
every cackle, every crazy look.
she's just beyond awesome.
And then when she started fighting, oh man.
Yeah, like
so
which
good.
made absolutely no sense. They have this like it's like they've created this evil arch nemesis for them. That's like it made no sense that she knew karate also, but she had it, so they had to put it in there.
So good.
I can't find it. Sorry. I think everybody. Let me put a clarity on this. I think every young woman should see this movie for sure. Mm-hmm. And I think anybody who wants to have fun and just like check your head at the door and just love to see good family dynamics and an amazing action film.
Just so good.
Yeah.
Just so good.
It was awesome.
All right.
And it was almost all in English.
Yeah.
So, which is kind of surprising. I kind of wish it was
Not
in
really. It took place in England. So.
Yeah, I know, but still, they still could be speaking another language.
Are they not in their own homes? Usually they speak their own languages when they're on homes. With their own relatives.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Yeah. And this one, it was British.
All right.
It was Queenie.
And then we saw,
Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret. But I did not get to see this with Bryce also, but I did get to see it with the Merman.
Yeah, you did.
Judy Blume has the ability to tell a story with characters that are rich and deep and complex and exceptionally developed. I've been reading her books since I was a child, and she just has a way to help the reader feel what these amazing characters are feeling. I truly believe this story in particular is her best, as well as apparently her first major novel release. She'd released a few kind of younger children books, but this was groundbreaking at its release in 1970. Throughout this story, we really understand that Margaret is going through a bunch of tough things and how difficult some of these things she has to deal with. The music in this is fantastic and period piece appropriate, no pun intended. Abby Ryder Forson, who plays Margaret, does a stellar job of portraying what has to be an extremely tough role for a young actress. This story has tough topics to bring out, and it's done with class and respect and tenderness and awareness. This story, as well as so many other of Judy Blume's books, were an outlet for generations after generations of young people to allow them to know they were not alone. The line Margaret makes in this film really does resonate with how she felt. God, I've looked for you everywhere, but I can only seem to find you when I'm alone. I know we make fun of Bryce all the time, and even when we're not on podcast time, about him being the 13-year-old girl of our podcast. Apparently, on revisiting this masterpiece of modern literature, I must be the 11-year-old girl of our crew, because I cried quite a bit throughout this film, as I really felt how alone Margaret felt throughout her journey. Judy Blume is brilliant, and this film was mondo.
All right.
Yeah. Are you there, God? It's me, Margaret. Okay. Watching 11-year-old girls talk about boys and tampons and increasing their busts is not exactly what a middle-aged old dude really signed up for.
No, it's not.
I can appreciate the work of Judy Blume, and I understand how much it meant to teenage girls to have someone who gets what they're going through. I really wasn't looking forward to this film when Jim said we had to watch it. As an adolescent boy in rural Saskatchewan, I was more into the Hardy Boys and Encyclopedia Brown and Sherlock Holmes and the work of a certain Canadian author, Gordon Corman. Look him up. However, once I discovered that Canada's sweetheart, Rachel McAdams, was in it, I found something to like about it. That and the amazing soundtrack of classic 70s tunes. Spirit of the Sky, These Eyes, Signed, Sealed, Delivered, I'm Yours, Son of a Preacher Man, Venus. It had us humming and singing along for the whole movie.
It did.
These Eyes is Canadian too.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
I brought that up in the movie.
I did enjoy the cute as a button main character and the emotional journey she goes through. As a child of the 70s, I can tell you she was luckier than most. She had two awesomely cool parents to turn to, which is more than a lot of us could say. She even had a cool Jewish grandmother to get her into trouble. Much as this movie really wasn't for me, it was a decent man.
There you go. He wasn't as terrible as you thought it was going to be. All right, Mr. Bryce.
Rachel McAdams.
How is this for a 13-year-old girl seeing this movie?
Are you there, God? It's me, Margaret. It's one of those films that I cannot find anything wrong with. It is a good coming-of-age story. I love the music. It had plenty to say without preaching. It had something relatable in it for pretty much anyone watching. And maybe most importantly, it was cast perfectly.
Yes.
Starting with Abby Ryder Fortson as Margaret, her performance was authentic, and in this role, I cannot imagine anyone being more perfect for it.
No.
We also had Rachel McAdams as Barbara, Margaret's mom. McAdams maybe does some of her best work ever. Also supporting, we have Benny Safdie, who I would not even have thought in a million years of casting him as a dad. But as always, he nails it. He just does. Yeah. He's just so good in everything he does. And I wish he was writing and directing, because his movies are amazing.
Well,
but
we'll take what we can get.
We'll take what we can get. Anytime we get a Safdie sighting, it's all good. And, you know, then of course we have Kathy Bates, who is Kathy Bates and is amazing in everything.
Yeah.
This is just a lovely movie with very good performances. It's meh.
You said you didn't have any problem with it. Apparently, this wasn't made for 13-year-old girls. It was made for 11-year-old girls.
Apparently, it was. I liked it a lot.
Yeah, but, I mean, it's not. It's not for us, really. To Murray's point, but. Like, when you have a movie like this that is almost a perfect rendition of the book and done so well, I don't know why you're not pushing that envelope.
I would know that. I've never read a Judy Blume book. Never read a single one of her books.
But what was the film? Was the film fantastic, or was the film fantastic?
It was meh.
It was all right.
I liked it.
It was all right.
You're poopy.
It wasn't the best. It was fine.
If this was only for 13-year-old girls, Bryce would have given it a Mondo.
Yeah, I guess if there was like a sequel 2 years later, it would have been Mondo.
There probably is, because you know she did write.
It was, as I say, it was very, very good, and honestly, the casting of this, like even all the friends and all the like everybody that was cast in this. It was one of the best casted movies I've ever seen. Like, everybody that was in it was perfect for that role.
Yeah, and you know what? Like, I kind of mentioned it, but you know, these roles for these kids are not easy. Like, I've seen so many, you know, interviews with things like that, and like they would have done like her first kiss, and like when they go into the closet, and then talking about like. It's hard for kids to talk to their parents or to anybody about getting their first menstruation. But, I mean, these kids had to be vulnerable, all of them. Like, to me, like, kudos to the direction team on this and working with those young kids. Like, it was so brilliant. I think everybody who fell in love with Judy Blume books should definitely see this movie. You will take yourself right back to the first time you read her books, for sure.
All right, so from there we go to Are You There, God? It's me, George Foreman.
Or, in other words, Big George Foreman.
Blah, 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 champion, blah, blah.
Yes, Big George Foreman, the miraculous story of the once and future heavyweight champion of the world.
Yeah, that's it.
Is a Jesus conversion movie masquerading as a sports biopic. I am getting to the point that if the movie is produced by the main subject, then it is a complete waste of time. I don't want to hear George Foreman's version of his own story at this point. This movie accomplished one thing. It made me sad for Forrest Whitaker. Foreman's story is worthy of a film, but not in this way. Give me an unauthorized version that Big George has no say in, and I will be in the first in line to see that movie. Or a documentary. This, on the other hand, was a yawn-inducing waste of time. This was a rage.
Yeah, mine's going to be real quick. Biopic, sports boxing movie about George Foreman's religion, and then his fucking conversion production house tried to convert me. It was awful. I hated every second of it. It was a rage. I don't even want to talk... I don't really want to talk about this because the amount of anger that I felt watching this. The anger is built in me.
No.
I cannot stress enough. And I said this once before, and I'm going to say it again. No, it's not. We're not getting in and out of this that fast. If we look at the production houses of these fucking religious conversion films, and we see the production houses that we already know who they are before we go, I am not going to one. Because it's already going to be a rage. There's going to be no substance to the film. The only thing they're trying to do is convert people. So, or they're building a film for people that are already converted that now want to reminisce about their conversion and talk about, oh, this is a miracle because he prayed and his sister's baby lived, and then he prayed and then he won the championship because he prayed. And then it's like, no, we're not watching these anymore. It's off the list. These movies are exactly the same as movies made for kids. If you're going to stand on a mountain and talk about the fact that we're not watching kids movies, we're not watching conversion films anymore.
I got a question for you, Murr.
Yeah.
What's the name of the podcast?
Film something. We were angry about stuff.
I'm sorry. Are we bringing back kids' movies now?
Film rage.
Are we bringing back kids' movies?
Let's do it. I'm okay with it. You're the one that got it. Every time we're trying to eliminate something, it's never me. It's always you. Now you don't want to do this, and you don't want to do that.
I don't want to watch another Mary-Kate and Ashley movie.
You always
It's
throw
not
it back in
right.
my face, and it's always you that
You made me
started
watch
it.
too many Mary-Kate and Ashley movies. It makes no sense.
Yes,
They're
well.
not who we're designed for.
Anyways, no. We're going to see the occasional religious movie. Just deal with it. It's just the way it is.
I'll be sick that day.
Whatever.
I'm calling in sick right now.
You have no
Whatever
sick, you
time
have
frame.
no sick
There's
days
more
left.
and more of there's more and more.
You have used all
There's
your
more,
sick days.
There's more and more of these coming out every week now. It's like these Christian production houses are now going to be rivaling
but
Disney for
here's
movie
the thing.
releases.
At some point, we might get a good one.
That's not possible.
Yeah, you never know.
No, it's not. Because Murray, okay, imagine this. They'll
anyways,
put
it
some
doesn't-
story in, and then they got to stop and have a heart-to-heart. It's like the exact same model. They have a heart-to-heart conversation about how Jesus made a difference in your life, and then they go back to some part of the story and they go, you know what, we got to talk about this again. How Jesus made a important part in your life.
Yeah.
And then they show a little bit more story, and then Jesus, he had a very important part of your life.
So what else did we see?
Hey,
Well, we saw.
slow up there, cowpokes.
What's that?
Somebody else went to see this.
Oh,
You
saw
did?
it?
Yes, I
What?
did.
All right.
Like
did you
you
like
care.
it? Did you like it as much as Jim?
Like you two
Wait.
care about me anymore.
Well,
didn't
no. Excuse me. You
never asked,
You didn't
did
go
you?
see the Catholic film. Why would I think you'd go and see this
Because
religious
it was
one?
about sports.
Okay.
Oh, I don't even know what Murray's rules are anymore.
They change week to week.
Was this about the Catholic Church? No, it wasn't.
There you go.
It was about a church.
It was
am-
about religion. It's not about Catholic Church.
I am
That's where
actually-
I draw the line.
So okay, so
I'm
let's just
very-
make this easy for us. Catholic churches you won't see.
No.
What else?
Just,
Ben Affleck movies you won't see.
No.
you know what?
Okay.
This podcast is already going to be 9 hours long. So, what'd you think of this?
We
Ray?
got lots of
I am
time.
actually very curious.
I am too.
Well,
actually,
I'm glad you asked me. I can't help but compare this film to Ollie and every other movie about boxers and see its failure to live up to them.
Okay.
Yes.
George Foreman was definitely not a skilled boxer, nor even a very smart one.
But he hit hard.
That's about all he did. Muhammad Ali nailed it on the head during the Rumble in the Jungle. Foreman moves like a mummy, swings his arms, and punches as hard as he can. That's it. Which is why the smaller but more intelligent Ali kicked his ass in Zaire. And this apparently broke Foreman so much that he retired from boxing in the prime of his career. The fact he was able to come back and actually win the title at 45 years old
Yeah, but he beat
and
Michael
overweight,
Moore.
whatever, was a miracle for sure. And that makes it like every other sports movie. Though I didn't really know much of Foreman's history, I still found the events in the film painfully predictable.
What?
Fall from grace, breakup of his marriage, losing all his money, the improbable comeback, just like every other sports movie.
Yes.
As for the performances, the guy who played Foreman in Adulthood, he was adequate.
give you
Forrest Whitaker, of course, did a good job.
Yeah.
But I have to say the celebrity stunt casting was some of the worst I've ever seen.
Howard Cosell.
Worst Howard
Oh,
Cosell
yeah, worst.
ever.
And worst Ali, like
Worst
come on.
Muhammad Ali
Ever.
ever.
Yeah.
Just terrible. And the fight choreography wasn't that great
It
either.
was so bad.
Like compared to I don't even like boxing. I've seen like a dozen boxing films,
And there was
this
so
like,
much
it was so bad.
boxing.
It was so bad.
So much boxing.
Since I like sports movies and even boxing films, though I don't actually watch the sport or UFC, this one managed a meh for me. Take out the religion, it might have been a little higher.
What?
Like, yeah, I gotta respect George Foreman, the man, because
but
to this day he preaches at his church, which good for him, and he still runs a youth center, so he's
Yeah.
trying to help people.
He's
That's
a
good.
good dude.
He's a good dude.
but he shouldn't
Yeah.
make movies.
They should have made a documentary. That's what
Yeah.
they should have done.
Oh.
And I could just basically say that about, well, it's kind of a good segue because we're going to talk about a documentary.
We are.
Yeah, this one I haven't seen.
Well,
Just so you know.
You did not miss much. This is a bit of a hint. Nuclear Now. This movie is too long. Covers a lot of things from films that we have seen a ton of times before. Tells nothing of the negatives of nuclear energy and feels more like a university dissertation or thesis than it does a movie about nuclear energy. They repeat things way too many times. Give props to historic American politicians, but not to Russian politicians who started the whole nuclear revolution. It's a bloated pet project by Oliver Stone. I did love hearing there is further developments in nuclear energy, but then nothing really in the details of that or anything related to anything that I really wanted to know. Instead, they went right back to repeating coal is bad, okay? Or nuclear is good, okay? And then every country they went to, they did exactly the same thing. Nuclear's good, okay? And coal is bad, okay? I was happy to see they did include my nuclear hero, Bill Gates, in this film, but did not give him enough screen time to the changes he is starting to implement. They just kind of brush over all the important things about what's changing in nuclear energy and just stuck with coal's bad, okay? And nuclear energy's good, okay? I wish they just did a recap of the things we have already seen many times before and focused on the story and that ending in this movie. Are you trying to touch our hearts so that you win your first Oscar for a documentary, Oliver Stone? It just made me throw up in my mouth. Not just a little bit, quite a lot. I think this movie is probably important for people that need to be convinced that nuclear power is an important piece to solving climate change, okay? But it's not a good movie because it pushes an agenda and does not give all the facts and ignores the important facts, like the details of what the evolution of nuclear looks like in much more detail. It's a rage, mostly because Oliver Stone is annoying and repeated this mantra way too many times. And I've got things to unpack, but let's see what you thought about this terrible, awful film by Oliver Stone and his bloated pet project.
It didn't make me as angry as it made you.
Well, perhaps you should have been more angry.
Maybe.
Why weren't you? Let's hear it.
Nuclear Now is Oliver Stone's attempt to educate us through tired archival footage, repetition, and sleep-inducing narration.
What? And that isn't telling you alone that this movie was... But we got to see Stand By Me.
Exactly. That was so good. Train! Okay, anyways, there is a lot of good information in this, but it is delivered with an agenda. Nuclear power is presented as a miracle energy with no downside, which is not the case. Don't get me wrong, nuclear energy is way better than coal or oil, but is not without its risks. This should have been presented a more complete picture than it did. I think that if you would have, let everything out and told the whole story, people were still going to side on the side of nuclear energy because you can't help but not. The film also introduced us to all sorts of innovations in nuclear energy, but failed to follow through with how these innovations really work and whether they are actually feasible in the near future. I applaud Stone for trying to bring this important information to the masses, but I wish he could have presented a more thorough point of view. Oliver Stone's Nuclear Now was good intentioned.
You can't give Maz out for good intention.
I'm giving a good intentioned Maz out.
It's no. This movie is so terrible. It's like it's a bloated pet project by Oliver Stone because he's like, I haven't made a documentary before, so I'm gonna try and make one, but I'm gonna,
It was all right.
No, it was
sure he hasn't made a documentary before? I'm sure he's made a couple.
He's made documentary series. Like, he's made stuff that's like a 5-part series, which is really what this felt like. It was way too long. It was the thing. One of the things that
terrific.
One of the things that really got me in this too is that he tries to make the U.S. out to be the savior of nuclear energy going forward. And he puts, even there's clips in there. There's a picture of Martin Luther King in this.
Yeah, well, that was
and then he kept
weird.
going back to John F. Kennedy saying, did it twice, talking about how nuclear energy is going to change the world.
I
and
felt like everything in this film was done 2 or 3 times.
It was done 2 or 3 times, and none of it was really important. Like all that scene, how can you say this was
trying
good?
to convince us through repetition.
It was just through awful. Like he should have just had a really good documentary about nuclear power and call it Nuclear Now, but make it about nuclear now and going forward.
I don't disagree at all.
It's terrible. I can't believe you're giving out this man. Like I was in pain watching this movie. If I thought George Foreman's conversion film was bad, this was even worse to me. This was 20 times worse.
Wow.
It was awful. We've seen way too many films about green energy and ways to make things, and this is like, it was totally Michael Mooreized, where it was like, I'm going to only tell you the things that I want to tell you.
It wasn't even Michael Moore.
Like, who is this for?
Michael Moore, at least, there's occasions in his films where it's kind of amusing. There was nothing amusing.
Yeah, you're right. It was Michael. I'm sorry, Michael Moore.
Yeah.
Because you made Bowling for Columbine.
Exactly.
I also like Michael Moore.
Yeah.
I like Things by Michael Moore, but he's very...
He's very opinionated.
Michael Moore makes his documentaries with an agenda, and it's
not
but
like he's
you
feeding
know
lies.
that going in with Michael Moore, he has a proven track record.
Yeah, of course.
The fact of the matter is that 90% of it's easy for me to not give him a pass, but enjoy the movie probably more than I should, because I always just agree with him. So it's hard.
As do I.
It's hard to it's like, yeah, you know what?
America
Preach
sucks.
on, brother.
Yeah, America sucks. Thanks for pointing it out.
Well, I don't think that's his agenda, though.
I don't think that's
American
entirely.
politicians suck. Let's go
Well,
that
that's
way.
part of it.
100%.
That's part
but
of it.
then
Say
every politician
I know
sucks.
some very
so.
nice Americans,
Yes.
but yeah, their country as a whole.
Yeah, so
Alright.
needless to say, I earned the title of Rage King for this week. That's all I'm going to say.
There you go. But there was one Mondo.
Good thing you
It
had
was two
Margaret.
2 Mondos. Yeah, you bat 500, man.
Yeah, it was either I loved it or hated it this
Yeah.
week.
I had
God for
I had a
Margaret.
Mondo, 2 Mez, and a Rage.
And Murray was
That was mad.
batting 1,000. He was man all over.
He was man.
Man all over the
That doesn't
place.
There's
piss
so
me
much
off.
man.
That's all I can expect anymore.
Nice.
This movie doesn't piss me off. I'm okay with it.
Murray's back to his old ways.
No, not necessarily.
Everything's man.
Everything's man.
Wait till the next Batfleck movie comes
There
out.
we go.
Then we'll
Yes.
see
Nice.
some rage.
When Murray's autobiography comes out, it'll
That's
be called
right.
Everything is Man.
That's right. What else do you guys do?
Well, this is the second half of our
I don't even know what we're doing.
Calgary Underground Film Fest.
Yeah.
So the movies we saw
giving
from our last
Are we
episode?
giving like our top 5 for the
Yes.
festival?
No,
or
top
just
5
for the second half.
Well, let's talk about the second half, and then we can talk about after that.
I'm
What,
totally unprepared. But okay, let's.
well, you
no.
do have your top 5 from
Do you
the
have a
second
list of
half,
movies?
right?
No.
Yeah, you gotta
Okay. Well, why don't
schedule
I
it in
tell
front of you.
mine first, and then you can just jump on board, because I know most of my top 5 are going to be in your top 5.
I've got it
too.
all here. I don't even know what was
I don't
first
know
half,
how.
second half.
Okay,
I-
I've got an honorable mention. That's what I'm going to tell you first.
All right. So from Amanda on, that was the second half, right?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Anyways,
Wednesday.
go ahead.
All right. So honorable mention was one that I didn't actually see at the festival, but I did see it, so it counts.
All right.
Even though I couldn't show up, but it did play at the festival.
Yes.
It's called "Squaring the Circle: The Story
Oh, so
of
good.
Hypnosis."
Loved
and
it.
every one of my films from this are Mondos, by the way.
Yeah.
I love album covers and truly feel they are art that's available for everyone. This doc tells us of Hypnosis, an art company that revolutionized the record cover industry when it was all about the music and actual physical art and photography. It's amazing.
It is.
Do you know where that's going to fit in your... Is
No,
that
you
also-
just do your top. We'll do it differently this year. Do your
All right.
top 5, and then I'll kind
All
of
right.
come in, and then we'll discuss.
Number
what was best.
5.
Yes.
Hung Up on a Dream. The zombies come back from the dead and stole my heart. Some of the most humble people I've ever seen, and Colin Blunstone is the most adorable and sweet person on the planet, and I want to pack him in my pocket and take him everywhere. This doc made me smile to my soul. This film was awesome. I loved it, and the music was fabulous.
Sorry.
It was Mondo. Colin Blunstone alone made this Mondo, but everybody else was also pretty cool. Number 4, Satan Wants You. And I'm pointing at you, Murray.
Nope.
Nom, 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 nom. Babies are delicious. Well,
Aren't they,
that's
though?
what Michelle Remembers wanted us to believe in this origin story of... sorry, let me say that again. In this origin story... and of deceit and fucking hilarity of the satanic panic homegrown in our country of Canada. Hail Satan. This movie was motherfucking Mondo, and Satan wants you and you and you to eat a baby.
Yes. Babies are so tasty.
Babies are so there's one scene in this movie, Ray, what are you saying?
Your baby.
Baby, get in my belly. So there's a scene in this by one of the cops who's the FBI guy, and there's an interview with him, and he's talking about the fact he knew that things were wrong when he did the math, and supposedly 2.5 million babies were being eaten a year in the U.S. I'm just like, yeah, the panic has gone a little bit overboard.
Yeah.
All right, number 3, Satanic Hispanics. Think a Spanish Tales from the Crypt, but fucking hilarious with vampires, demons, and a giant killer penis that was a sweet and tender lover. And with original music that was killer. Like, I'm gonna kill you with the hammer of Zanzibar.
Yes.
This movie was freaking hilarious. It was fun. It's got a bunch of clips from different movies. If you get a chance to see Satanic Hispanics, absolutely see it. Number 2, Amanda. Italian-France co-production. Spoiled rich kid with no friends. She's annoying to everyone and really felt out of place in her family and in society. Her anger and mental instability causes her all kinds of trouble and gives us all kinds of laughs in this hilarious, and I'm doing this in quote, coming of age, even though she was 25, 26. And of course, I was wrong. I predicted with an Italian-France co-production there was a 65% chance of nudity, and they teased us twice, but apparently the Italians do not like the nudity as much as the French. So we did not. She was 26.
Yeah, he's still pretty young.
20, not for the French. The French go in hard with 18-year-olds.
I confirm with Jim that there would be no nudity.
Yeah, he did. Right as the movie is about to start, he sends me a text and says, "Oh, by the way,
because I forgot I watched it.
You're wrong.
I didn't like it as much as you.
I predicted that before.
You did. So what was it that gave it away? Was it because of the Italian co-production?
I just had a feeling.
Hooked on a feeling?
Just had a feeling.
All right. Well,
I read the description. I was like, yeah, it's not.
But there was 2 close calls though.
There was the 2 teases where I was.
That's right.
I was like nudging you. I'm like, here it is.
Here it is. We're gonna see this.
No.
Oh, no, sucker. Good thing we didn't have money on it. Okay, and my favorite film of the second half of the festival is The Elderly. If you thought old people were creepy, you ain't seen nothing yet. And when your wife tells you to get your dad out of the house because he says he's going to kill you tomorrow, then get the fuck out of there. The music was incredible. The creep factor was outstanding. And I will never look at The Elderly the same again. This was fan-freaking-tastic. It creeped me out to the soles of my giblets. And I want to say it's the first time I've ever seen Bryce jump. Ever.
Yeah, I actually had a jump scare there that actually affected me.
That's
crazy.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right. Well.
So yeah, I'll do honorable mention. Satanic Hispanics would be my honorable mention.
All
for
right.
the second half.
I liked about half of it.
Yeah, I liked all of it.
It was like
really
a Tales from the Crypt. Like it's like some movies or some segments are better than others.
Yeah, some were.
The ending was awesome.
Yeah, it was
the
so
vampire
perfect.
thing was awesome.
It was awesome.
This 300-pound out of shape vampire. So I'm like, Why the hell do you just go into a building like you're running and the sun's coming up? Just go into a building with no windows.
Well, we saw how
Idiot.
that worked out at the end anyway.
Yeah, because they were in a dumpster that had window things. Like, no, you got to go into a building and hide in a closet or something.
He always liked to push the envelope,
Yeah,
man.
he's an idiot. Anyway,
So yeah, so
it was all right.
my number 5 is Satan Wants You, Baby Eating It All. Number 4, Hung Up on a Dream, the Zombies documentary. I kind of every now and then forget how much I love this band, and then I watch a documentary on them, and it's like now
I realize how great they are.
they are fantastic. I've got some zombies coming to my house at some point real soon here.
And wasn't Colin Blunstone just the
just-
most adorable?
He really was. It's
I just
like,
felt sad that they're not millionaires.
Well, they might be now.
No,
They just put out another
all
album
those
out
hits
last
they had
year.
in the 60s.
I don't
and they made no money
I
off
don't
it.
think they are, but I think that they're very content at
No,
where they are.
like every
at
other
this point.
artist in the 60s, they got screwed by their managers.
That's what happens.
True that.
Number 3 is Amanda, even though there was no nudity.
French,
It is.
you're
It was
disappointing.
such a funny movie. Just I guess it wasn't a comedy, or was it a comedy? I don't know.
It really pokes fun at the
I
millennial.
laughed a lot.
Yeah, if you like laughing at
mentality.
millennials, I guess it'd be funny.
Yeah.
Number 2, Squaring the Circle, the story of hypnosis. Really entertaining. Just I could sit there and just listen to Roger Waters talk for hours on end, and we get a sufficient amount of Roger Waters interviews. So I was a happy camper just there. But the whole story was interesting. The guys that ran this company that were complete opposites. It was just a lot of fun. This doc, and it's sad that the artwork for albums is not what it used to be.
Yeah, they can't spend like $1 million
As
doing
I say,
an album cover anymore.
Some people it used to be that people's LPs collections was a poor man's art collection, and probably better than most people's $1 million art
The
collections.
scene that, for me, there was 2 scenes in that movie that kind of nailed it for me.
Yeah.
Number 1, when they lit that guy on fire.
Yes.
They literally did
They
light the
literally
guy on
lit
fire
him on
from Pink
fire.
Floyd's album.
Yeah,
And
wish you were here.
They had to light him on fire like
A
5
bunch
or
of
6
times.
times.
Oh, it was more than that.
Was
I
it
think
like
it was-
15 times,
I
maybe?
think it was like 50 times, and then he was like, "No, I'm done.
And-
you don't have it now. You're screwed." Because
And
it's
then,
like, let's just do it one. He's like,
no, I am done. If you haven't got it yet, that's it. I'm not lighting myself on fire.
Yeah.
And the giant pig flying over the.
Oh, so yeah, they're just all the stories were just fantastic. A really, really enjoyable doc. And number 1 is The Elderly for the second half. It's just bonkers, and it is really, really visually effective.
Yeah. Oh, it's so. And we got some nudity.
We did. We
Yeah.
got some old people having
Old
some
people?
Old
we
people
got some
having
old people
sex.
sex. Yeah.
We got an old wiener hanging out for.
Big fat old lady on top. It was
Sounds like
fantastic.
It
Your
was,
guys' kind of
it was
movie?
so good.
There was a lot of old wiener.
Yeah, there was a lot of old wiener. I was loving it.
I'm glad I missed it.
Okay, so because both are number 1s from both halves. So here's the really important question.
Yes.
It's between The Elderly and Birth Rebirth. So what was your favorite of the festival?
My favorite of the festival is I'm going Birth Rebirth.
And I'm going The Elderly.
Yeah, and I don't blame you.
And I don't blame you. You know why this is why The Elderly, because it took me places that I wasn't expecting to go.
Yep.
And it showed me things that I did not ever want to see, but I got to see them. In the Birth Rebirth, as much as it's an amazing film, it was very comparable in the sense of how the awesomeness to it, but there wasn't as many moments that got me as being I'm freaked out. This is
That's fair
creepy.
enough.
This is scary. This is that. This is this. Still very amazing film.
Yeah, I'm sitting. I mean, I got to literally split hairs to choose one over the other. It's just at the end of the day, if you're gonna ask me which one did you like better, I'm gonna say Birth Rebirth.
All right.
Just,
There you go. Well, you've seen it twice
and I
now.
absolutely adored both of them. I mean,
Yeah.
this festival, and I'm sorry, I'm just going to list off my Mondos. These were all Mondos at one film festival. Birth Rebirth, Sisu, Mr. Oregon, One Road to Quartzsite, Cash Cow, Showing Up, Kim's Video, Amanda, Satanic Hispanic, Satan Wants You, Hung Up on a Dream, The Zombies documentary, Squaring the Circle, The Story of Hypnosis, and The Elderly. This is one film festival, and these were all amazing must-see films.
Yeah, this is
I'm
by
happy
far-
if I get 2 or 3
Yeah.
out of the
Entire festival.
30 or 40 that I watch. If I get 2 or 3, I'm happy.
Yep.
I got like 11 or 12?
Yeah, there's 12. Yeah, probably
I think it
13,
was over a third
14.
of the movies that I
Yeah.
watched were amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
And as someone who worked for the festival, I can tell you this was the biggest and most successful one they've ever had.
Yeah.
And I was proud to be part of it.
Yeah.
The whole team should be proud of themselves.
As was
We
I.
had big crowds the whole time. We kept running out of beer and food and everything else because the demand was just so high. And you guys didn't even go to the last one.
No, we didn't.
We did not.
We were burnt out.
They not only was it packed, but they had like a 45-minute Q&A at the end of it. And this is the final film.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, people love that one too. It was some kind of weird. It was like a trans director.
Yeah.
Did like a gay version of Batman.
Yeah.
But because they broke so many copyright rules, there's no way anybody else will ever see this. Because there's no way that Warner Brothers or DC will ever let it come to light. But yeah, from what I can tell, most of the crowd, I mean, there were a few walkouts, but most of the crowd loved it. So it was a great closing night movie as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, record crowds this year.
Nice.
So yeah, thanks everybody for coming out.
So, what was your favorite film that you actually did get to see?
I didn't see a whole lot because I was
Yeah, I know, you're working.
I worked all 11 days.
But you did get to see Sisu.
Sisu, I knew it'd be good. I was looking forward to it because it's a Scandinavian film and it had Nazis and it had lots of violence in it.
Nazi killing.
I saw a few of the ones you guys liked. I mean, I previewed some of them.
Yep.
I don't know. Like Amanda, I kind of liked. I mean, I gave it a good grade when I originally previewed it, but I don't think I gave it like perfect. I mean, I didn't like it that much because I'm not a big fan of millennials. But no, a few of them were okay. Like the zombie one was good, but I liked the first half where they were playing the music. Then the second half of the movie was about their comeback and their personal lives.
Maybe not.
Which I didn't really like
but,
as much.
But yeah. I don't.
Because they
I get
basically
that.
went away, right? Like after whatever year,
Yeah.
they didn't retire, but they didn't really make music.
They were doing, they were
doing other stuff.
They were doing
like
other stuff.
working in clothing stores or wherever they were working for an ad agency. I don't know what the guy was doing,
Yeah.
but yeah, then they just had to reunite towards the end there.
By the way, I feel so dumb. I literally did not know that Rod Argent from
Yeah, it was Argent.
from the zombies
Zombies
was
was
Argent. I did not know that. And
That's
as soon as
funny.
that came up, I felt like an idiot.
You're like, I'm not as smart as
Because
I
I know
thought I
who
was.
Rod Argent is. And then
Yeah.
but I never knew that.
Didn't Trey
Hold your
go
head
from
up high. Hold your head up high. Hold your head up high.
Hold your head up.
See, I know the music, couldn't even tell you. Didn't even associate the band with those songs.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, I knew the songs.
So, what was your favorite? Then Sisu?
Sisu, I guess.
All right.
All right.
Perfect.
Done.
Done.
Moving on.
CalgaryUndergroundFilm.org.
That's right.
CalgaryUndergroundFilm.org.
Yeah, I really got nothing other than George Foreman was a really bad film, and I could list a whole bunch of boxer movies that were better, but that's pretty much all of them, except maybe the last couple of Creed movies.
What about Digstown?
Didn't see that one.
Oh, Digstown's good.
But I mean, much as
take
I
your
don't
word
like,
for it.
much as I don't
It's
like,
got Lou Gossett Jr. and
I don't know.
yeah, you do, Buddy with the hair.
With the thing and stuff.
Buddy
He
with
was
the
in
hair that narrows
Videodrome.
it down.
What's his
James
name?
Woods?
James Woods.
Okay, sure.
It's James Woods and Louis Gossett Jr.
Sure,
Digstown.
whatever.
It's fun.
Anyway.
I liked it.
And much as I
Of
don't
course,
like,
I saw it when I was like 12, so maybe it doesn't stand the test of time.
and
'cause
the
I've never
great
seen it
Bruce
since.
Stern is also in
Bruce
it.
Stern is in it. He's awesome. You should watch. Murray, I guarantee you'll love Digstown. I give you that, my personal guarantee, and someday you're going to watch it.
Maybe.
You're going to tell me that you
Maybe.
loved it.
who knows? But no, much as I don't like Will Smith, Ali was, I think, one of the perfect boxing films.
All right.
And it really showed both sides of him. Like, it showed he wasn't perfect. I mean, he cheated on his wife like 3 times and
Yeah,
got married twice.
that's true.
But yeah,
Found
he was-
religion.
Found religion, but he wasn't over the. Yeah, he was quiet about it. He didn't try to convert people.
He was not quite about
well,
anything.
no, I mean, he was... he wasn't in your face about it. Like Foreman kind of was towards the end there, but whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
that's pretty much all I got.
All right.
Temperature rising. Vision blurring. Rage taking over.
Ooh, sweet, sweet rage. So my rage is a double banger this week. Number one, please don't make biopics, especially if they're U.S. biopics. Please just make a documentary. And the second part of that is if you're going to make a documentary, don't be a bloated Hollywood director making a documentary. Please leave that to the professionals who know how to make documentaries. Oliver Stone, your film was awful. And George Foreman, I would rather see a documentary about you done by a really good documentarian. That's my rage this week.
What about Big George Foreman, directed by Oliver Stone?
Fuck, just fucking kill me now. Absolutely not.
Sounds awesome.
Yeah, that's my rage. Make documentaries by people who know how to make documentaries, and don't make biopics.
About yourself.
Yeah, about yourself.
Don't direct yourself.
Yeah, that's
Let somebody else do it.
Stop hurting my soul.
All right. My rage is pretty simple. Jim. Polite Society. Sorry, how many people were in the screening with you?
There was 3.
3.
Me
Yeah.
and these 2 young girls. I would say they're 16 or 17.
Okay, so you had 3 people in your screening.
Yep.
And I had just me in my screening. So at 2 screenings of Polite Society, there was a total of 4 people. Come on. Go to the movies, people. Go to stuff that maybe's outside of your comfort zone. Just go experience something. This movie was an experience. It should have been seen by so many more eyes than what it was. I don't understand.
Yeah. And the
That's
commercials
my
for
rage.
this, like when you go to see the movies, the commercials for this, it actually does look good, right? It is one that drew me to go see it. So, yeah, people, go get off your fucking couches and get into a cinema.
Yeah.
Good rage.
Rage subsiding. Pulse slowing. Anger fading.
All right. Well, I wanted to bring up Kelly Reichardt as director this week for Undoubted, because I think she's made it to 8.
Good.
So if you got a pen sitting
Her
there,
movie wasn't
Okay.
even on your Mondo list.
what's that?
Her movie wasn't even on your Mondo list.
Yeah, it was. It was in last
last
episode.
season.
Yeah. So her last film was Showing Up, which
Mondo.
was a Mondo.
Mondo.
Her movie before that was First Cow, which was a Mondo.
What was it?
First Cow.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was super Mondo.
That was freaking awesome.
Her
Mondo.
movie before that was Certain Women, which to me was a Mondo.
Certain Women. I'm not sure I've seen it.
Stars Michelle Williams again.
Oh, yeah, I have
Kristen
seen it.
Stewart.
Yeah.
Was it Mondo?
Mondo.
Okay. Night Moves, which to me was a Mondo.
It was meh.
Is Matt? Okay, well, let's hope that she redeems herself. Meek's Cutoff. Now, I have not seen this, but it also stars Michelle Williams.
Meek's Cutoff?
Yep.
I haven't seen it either, so that is something apparently I'm going to have to watch.
We're both going to have to watch it, guys.
It's,
Yep.
Looks like it's the
It could be for you. Well,
tipping point.
Yeah, I know it's not going to be a rage for me, so So far,
Yeah,
I'm
so
batting 1,000.
I know, but for me,
Okay,
though, it's gotta
okay,
be
so you've got
Mondo.
it in there.
Yep.
Then she did a couple of shorts. Then she did Wendy and Lucy.
Which was one of my... that actually, Cuff showed that,
Yeah,
by the way. And
it's also
it
a
was
Mondo.
so good.
The film before that was Old Joy,
Old Joy.
which I have not seen.
I have not seen Old Joy.
But the title alone makes me want to see it.
It does.
And their very first film was River of Grass, which I have not seen. So is that 8?
That's the 8. So apparently we have some watching to do.
But this is not going to be disappointing in any way, shape, or form.
No, I think this is one of those that we're happy to watch these movies.
Yeah.
So I need to watch Meek's Cutoff, and you need to watch Meek's Cutoff. Old Joy and River of Grass. So
Yep.
over the next,
Few weeks, we're going to
Few
be
weeks,
we're going to be cramming
yeah.
some Kelly Reichardt.
All right, so I'm going to start with Meek's Cutoff because if I think it's mad, it's over.
Yeah.
Before it starts.
I'll still watch it
Yep.
just because I kind of really want to
Well,
see it.
I think you need to. I think if we're putting someone on the Undoubted list, it's not like some of the other lists. We pretty much have to watch every film.
Yeah,
We can't just
I
go,
would agree.
yeah.
Okay, so it's called what again?
Meek's Cutoff.
Cut Off.
Well, that is some homework for me this week.
Yep, that sounds freaking awesome. And so we'll hold off on because we've got a film to watch for this week, but Maria will hit us up next week. Right?
There we go.
I don't think we have anything
I
else.
was going to give you one this week.
You were, but then apparently we have to watch Meek's Cutoff, so
All right, then.
you'll have to hold your breath.
Put away my freshly minted list then.
That's right.
Yes. But
Did I
save
s-
it for next week.
That I spent many minutes making up.
That's right. He worked hard for his money. He worked hard for it, honey.
Worked hard for no money.
That's right. All right. That's it for the list, I think.
I think so.
Apparently, last time on Rage or Dare, my choice for Bryce wasn't quite painful enough for him because, in his words, the film was beautifully shot and Alice Cooper was in it. We all know that Tim Burton dropped the ball with Dark Shadows. Come on, Bryce. Even though Bryce didn't feel the rage, he was still afraid to pull again from my bag of evil remakes, and instead pulled in
Big Mama's House.
Listeners' dare bag. Well played, listeners. Well played. This week it's Jim's turn to rage or dare, but I'm guessing our other ballless wonder will choose to hide from the rage as well. Sheesh. Now let's see if we pity the fool who had to watch Inspector...
Big Mama's House.
We, of course, mean Bryce. Or, no pity here.
Is that you, God?
Is that you, God? It's me, Margaret. Oh, God of Rage.
Yes.
So for those of you who haven't listened to us in a couple weeks and you're just coming back to us, we had a kerfuffle because Bryce was dared to see Inspector Gadget, but on relook at it, it is a children's film, so he did not have to watch it. So we chose again.
Yes. We chose Big
Mama's House.
All right. This is going to be short and not so sweet.
What?
Yeah, amazingly enough, this is not a good movie, Jim.
What?
That's Tyler Perry? What the hell you say?
It's not Tyler Perry.
Oh, I thought it was.
No, it's Martin
It's
Lawrence.
Martin Lawrence.
Same
Someone just as repulsive.
Yeah.
Yes. All right, Big Mama's House. If you think Martin Lawrence in a fat suit is funny, this is a movie for you. If you think body shaming is funny, this is a movie for you. If you think that a situation where Martin Lawrence is caught in a bathroom hiding in the shower while an old fat lady takes a dump, then this movie's for you. It was, however, not for me. Martin Lawrence is not funny. This movie was a rage. That's it. Martin Lawrence is the most repulsive actor on the face of the earth. How this guy had a career is beyond me. I don't get it. He is not funny.
No.
His delivery's not funny.
Nope.
He doesn't have any, he can't make a face that's funny. There's nothing amusing about this guy.
I don't get it.
It's insane.
Yeah,
And the
what?
fact that there was 47 Big Mama's houses that got made, what is going on? What is wrong with producers and moviegoers? Like, what? Who? Why?
And like 3 Bad Boys films.
Yeah, don't even remind us about those bad boys.
I like Bad Boys starring Sean Penn. That was an excellent movie.
That was a good movie.
Is that what we're talking? Did it have sequels?
No. Not the ones with Sean Penn.
Oh,
the one with Martin Lawrence and the other guy.
Will
and Mr.
Smith.
Slap.
Yeah.
Mr. Slap Your
Mr.
Face.
Slap and Martin Lawrence.
Yeah, those
Mr.
were-
Get Your Wife's
those
mouth
were
out
terrible.
of your mouth.
Yeah, that's-
name out of your mouth.
That's right. That
Or I'll beat you up.
Yeah.
Smith.
Slappy. Nick Slappenstein.
Slappy McSlap.
So we've changed up this week because it was supposed to be me that's pulling this week, which I definitely would have pulled from Casey's bag. I'm positive of that. But Bryce and I thought it was a little bit more important
Oh, yeah, right.
Yes.
because there is a movie that's coming out this weekend in cinemas.
And it's starring Celine Dion.
It's starring Celine Dion.
Starring her. She's in
Oh,
it.
it's starring
It sure
her.
looks like it's starring her.
It's starring
And it-
Priyanka Chopra.
Yes. And Celine
and
Dion.
Celine Dion.
She's
And
just her advisor.
The trailer alone was enough to make both Bryce and I rage.
Oh.
So we made upon an agreement that one of us has to see this movie.
Not
we
both
were
of us.
choosing not to go see it together.
No.
So we decided we're going to see, one of us is going to watch it. And this is just a special edition. So next week, I will be choosing.
Yes.
But this week is a special edition because it's not very often that Celine Dion makes a movie.
Yes. So I really hope that please, Murray's going to pull from the bucket. My name is on one piece of paper. Jim's name is on the other.
And whoever is
And,
pulled
oh my
is
God,
going to
do I
see
hope.
this in cinemas.
Please, Murray, pull Jim's
Please,
name.
Murray, pull Bryce.
Please, please, please. I do not want to watch this movie.
This movie looks like it could be the worst movie ever made.
This is
and
just
I
bad.
intend to see it. Have me singing along to the
Come on.
sound.
It may be
Jim.
on the Murman
Jim.
Minute.
Jim.
Hey.
Bryce.
Jim.
Bryce.
Jim.
Bryce.
Jim.
Bryce. Bryce.
Jim.
Bryce. Bryce.
Jim. 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 No!
That would be brave.
It's I am the winningest winner of the wins.
Oh,
This is the best day of my life.
No!
My marriage comes like in a fourth maybe to this, and my birth of my 2 children and grandchild. This is the best day of my life. I cannot believe my luck.
Didn't he also get High School Musical?
He did get High School Musical.
I am cursed. Son of a biscuit.
Wow. Enjoy.
Oh, Ragers, this is the best day of my life. Thanks to all supporting us. And thanks for listening. Thanks to the extended Film Rage family, who you can find in our show notes. Thanks to Casey, the nerdy photographer, the voice of Rage All Day, and our God of Rage. Find us everywhere at Film Rage YYC. Check out everything Film Rage at filmrageyyc.com, including our merch site for Redbubble and TeePublic. We're always wanting to make this a raging blast for all listeners, so please comment, like, and subscribe, and send us emails to filmragecalgary@gmail.com. Dare to see terrible movies to fuel our rage, but no matter what you do, please, 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 pretty please, 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 go and see a Celine Dion movie. And that's it for this week. Rage on!
Rage on.